Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato.
A lot of young kids, I think we're reprocessing our relationship to it a little bit now. It's so nice.
That's great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you. You got me. Thank you. That's nice.
It's true. Yeah.
Thank you. I think
That there was Ariana Grande, shedding a few tears as she recounted the trauma she went through during her time working under Dan Schneider at Nickelodeon. Many fans were left heartbroken as they witnessed their favorite star pour out her raw emotions on a recent episode of the Podcrushed podcast. Ariana's revelations follow hotly on the heels of several former Nickelodeon stars like Victoria Justice and Lori Beth Denberg, who've exposed Dan Schneider for who he really is, and boy, it was disheartening. However, Ariana Grande's expose appears to have triggered many emotions due to her fame and popularity. Many fans are currently calling for Schneider's head as they are shocked to discover what happens in the dark when the cameras and lights go off. So, what exactly did Ariana Grande reveal that set people's emotions on fire? And how is it affecting her psyche and career now? Hey, I'm Kat, and welcome back to Rumor Has It. This video may have some triggering topics and sensitive content, and if that's not something you can deal with right now, that's perfectly fine. I hope to see you in the next video.
You're so strong. Like, you've gone through some incredible things, and I just feel like grace has to be one of your lead attributes as a person. Like,
if there's any celebrity in more hot water than Diddy is right now, it's Dan Schneider. The former TV producer at Nickelodeon has been the subject of a barrage of criticisms as many people are getting to know his true colors. Often referred to as the golden boy of Nickelodeon, Dan Schneider has brought lots of success, the company, and laughter to many homes. However, lurking behind all that success and laughter is a man who's allegedly perpetrated some of the worst evil in Hollywood history. And purportedly, one of his many victims was Ariana Grande. During her tenure on the Podcrushed podcast, the Zoolander actress opened up about her harrowing experience working with Dan Schneider and Nickelodeon. Before then, several stars like Victoria Justice and Lori Beth Denberg had already revealed the disturbing stuff they went through at the company, which we'll discuss later in the video. According to Ariana, she and her friends were excited when they auditioned and got the roles at Nickelodeon. They couldn't wait to jump on set and show the world the stuff they were made of. However, given all the recent exposés by her colleagues, she is now reprocessing all of her time on the TV network.
I think we're reprocessing our relationship to it a little bit now, if that makes sense.
Now, that makes sense, because let's face it, we all process information or memories from our childhood to help us make sense of an experience or circumstance during our early years. Thus, in this case, it made sense for Ariana to go through her memories of working at Nickelodeon, given all the revelations of her co-stars. However, over the course of her reprocessing her experience, her relationship with Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider is changing. Now this is significant because Ariana was a staunch, die-hard fan of the TV producer in the past. So it's kind of a big shift when she claims that her feelings and attitude towards the TV network and its staff are changing. But hold your horses, the juicy part is yet to come.
Yeah, I think that the environment needs to be made safer if kids are going to be acting and...
Now, for Ariana to say that the environment needs to be made safer for kids speaks volumes. It suggests that she and her colleagues had to put up with a lot of toxicity on the Nickelodeon set. The former teen actor recommended therapists and therapy sessions for child actors as part of making the environment safer, but the frequency of the therapy sessions raised some eyebrows. The TV and movie star proposed 3 to 4 sessions a week for child actors to help them cope, which some fans found a little bit odd. It tells a lot about the mental stress, the physical strain, and the emotional upheavals coupled with the unsafe work environment that these kids have to endure. But here comes the most bizarre and frankly disturbing part of the whole podcast. The Bang Bang singer spoke of many times when they would do a scene that appeared innocent to the kids but had some adult undertones. Now, she didn't mention the specific scenes though, but a quick search on the internet reveals certain suggestive scenes that were simply an eyesore. For instance, take a look at this one.
Because your uvula is that swingy thing in the back of your throat right here.
And if you think that one's disgusting, here's another.
Have you ever tried to get your whole big toe in your mouth? Check this out.
Oh, and wait, here's yet another one.
Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato.
And here's where the water gets muddier. Nickelodeon has different boards that review each of the series and approve them before they're aired. Interestingly, the boards found some of these scenes unhealthy for public consumption, yet they were somehow sneaked onto the company's website, like this one.
I'm thirsty.
Now it's easy to see how the children would see some of these acts as innocent, and the producers of the shows would take advantage of their innocence. Moreover, according to Ariana Grande, eliciting laughter from Dan Schneider on set was like a holy grail, so they would do anything for it. Plus, they trusted him and his work too. So you see why, after reprocessing her time at Nickelodeon, our favorite star would break down in tears.
So
Handle things
nice.
with grace.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you. You got me. Thank you. That's nice.
It's true. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, all this ties into the experiences of Lori Beth Denberg, who used to work with Dan Schneider in the mid-90s. Narrating her ordeal with the celebrated TV producer, Lori told Business Insider that Schneider used to touch her inappropriately and show her clips of adult videos. On how it all started, the actress explained that Dan Schneider would call her into his office and initiate a casual conversation, then would later sneak in X-rated topics. These topics eventually led to him showing her adult videos. She recounted one of the clips in which a woman was below giving someone special attention, so to speak. She narrated times when Schneider would put his mouth on her bosom and one occasion when the TV producer had been explicitly inappropriate over the phone. Sadly, all these events took place when she was between 19 and 21 years old, but the mistreatment didn't end there. On set, Schneider allegedly was an egomaniac whose ego had to be massaged or face his wrath. She recounted incidents where the producer would lash out at her during filming, even after the unholy secret encounters. Additionally, Schneider would single her out for ridicule at any given opportunity, like the time he pointed out her twin towers at different sizes to the laughter of everyone present at the party. When asked why she didn't report the issues at the time, Denberg gave an answer that sort of sheds light on what Ariana Grande and her co-stars went through. She explained that she didn't really see anything inappropriate at the time because she saw Schneider as a friend and trusted him. However, in hindsight, she believed that Schneider would have stopped writing skits for her and probably regulated her to the back burner had she exposed him. It explains why Ariana Grande and her co-stars initially were okay with whatever crazy idea Schneider and his cohorts brought up. After all, he was their mini-god who could conjure magic with a snap of his fingers. Nobody dared offend Schneider on set, which could be detrimental to anybody's career in Nickelodeon, and, to some extent, Hollywood as a whole. In fact, Denberg described an incident that almost cost her her career while filming the 90s hit sitcom All That with Schneider as the head writer. While on set, Denberg confided in Albie Hecht and Brian Robbins, then executives at Nickelodeon, that she was worried about how Schneider treated Amanda Bynes. She complained that the young actor who was the principal character on The Amanda Show appeared emaciated and exhausted and wished she could get help. However, what Denberg got for all her efforts was a total ban from ever coming to the set of The Amanda Show. Thankfully, she wasn't a cast or crew of The Amanda Show, or that would have spelled the end of her career. According to her, network executives appeared to behave like Schneider's employees due to the power he wielded. Nobody thinks it's their responsibility to protect the people working at Nickelodeon, Denberg said. Instead, higher-ups act as if employees should thank them for the privilege, and it's just absolutely disgusting. So this explains why Ariana Grande suggested Hollywood be made a much safer place for kids to work, especially when they have to shoulder the huge responsibility of being the family's principal breadwinner. Most importantly, it explains why she proposed weekly therapy sessions for the kids because she knows what she went through at Nickelodeon. It appears Ariana Grande knows and experienced more than she's willing to tell, because this seems to be the tip of the iceberg. In 2004, former acting coach Brian Peck, who worked with Nickelodeon, pleaded no contest to putting his mouth on actor Drake Bell's privates. He spent 16 months in prison, only to be released and allowed to work with and around children again. He lent his voice to Disney Channel's The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but his contract was terminated when the network learned of his conviction. Still, Peck found work in films involving children such as 2008's Bedtime Stories. Now I bring up Brian Peck's issue to shed more light on why Ariana Grande would suggest therapy sessions for kids, because we can only imagine the trauma the victims go through. Ariana herself was no exception, being a victim of disgusting adults who should have known better, but unfortunately had no shame. But on this upsetting note, that's all we have for you today. I hope you join us for the next one.